Hey, good evening. How y'all doing today? Happy Sunday, fun day. It's the Puerto Rican parade in my city. Yes, sir. I thought it was the first of the damn month. The first week, and it's the second week. Why did I think that? I don't know. I've lived in New York all my life and can't get it right. Anyways, next year, I'm going to know for sure. It's going to be the second week. And I think also usually because I'm working. I'm working a BS job trying to make some money. I wasn't working one year and I actually got to go, it was fun to me and I wanted to do it again, especially for the food alone. Okay, let me tell you, I was lucky enough to not only go, but was able to get this free food because the people I went with, their company was making the food. Wasn't making the food, but I think it was a restaurant. I think somebody else cooked. So it's a little bit of both. Some cooked, some from a restaurant. And it was all so freaking good. And damn it, I'll be looking forward to that every year just for the food. I'm not gonna lie to you. That food was delicious. I'm gonna take these out because I did the other way. Freaking licious. Okay. That's one. I got something else to tell you, and I'm sure by now you should know. Y'all should know this already. I shouldn't have to tell y'all this. Like, this part right here should already be known. This part right here, we fucking won that shit. We won that shit, baby. We won that shit. We won. We won. New York Knicks or champions, baby. The fucking champions. Okay? We're getting our what? Parade. Our freaking parade. When I say my city was upside down, lopsided, tilted, in the worst way. Yo, they had mosh pits in the middle of Times Square. Not just one, like in every freaking section going up 40 deuce. Yo, people were sitting on the lights. They said somebody was on the Madison Square Garden. The sign that says Madison Square. How the fuck did you get up there? Somebody got up there. Let me tell you, they're having fireworks in the middle of the street. They're having the 4th of July in the middle of the street. The cops was chasing them out of 40 Deuce, telling everybody to go home. And people were like, we don't want to go home. We're not ready to go yet. It was a lot. I think they rang off a shot or two to get them off 42nd Street just to get them moving. I didn't hear no one getting shot. I didn't hear that yet. I haven't heard anyone that got shot on 42nd Street yet last night. If it happened, I haven't heard about it yet. But you did hear shots and like people running because I think that's the only way to get them moved. They probably shot in the air, which hope, well, you know, most likely so no one gets hurt. Like they just let off a couple of shots. Like, get out of here. Move, 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 move. It was retarded, okay? When I tell you, oh my God. I partly want to go, but then I was like, I don't want to get caught up in that shit. Because when I'm ready to go home, I want to go home. I do not want to get caught in the middle of the madness. And that right there was crazy. How many watch parties? Hell, I watched mine on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. And it was good to me. Okay? Good to me. Let me tell you something. The Knicks fought tooth and nail for that. I don't know what the Spurs and all these other people are saying. Maybe the Spurs was a better team. Whatever. I don't think so. You know what I mean? I think people don't expect the Knicks to win because the Knicks been cursed for so many years that they can never, like I've said before, it's like a roller coaster ride. We get mad hype, the season starts, you start getting your jerseys, you go into the game, and then before you know it, they're in the playoffs or about to be in the playoffs, and then that ends early. Or they get into the playoffs and that ends early. They've never gotten this far. Where they got to the playoffs, beat the playoffs, and getting ready to go to the finals. So this right here was earned. Nothing was given to them. The last 4 games they had to play were like damn near the worst games they had to play, because it wasn't just the players on them. It was the refs. The referees were against the Knicks in both states, in San Antonio and in New York. The roughhousing that was going on from the Spurs, and they wasn't doing nothing last night. That little chump, I forget his name, but he got all the braids, or he got locks in his hair, and he kneed, and what did he do? He kneed and he like shoved what's your boy Bronson, like disrespectfully. Now Bronson would have returned the favor and kneed and pushed him, they would have threw him out the game. It was definitely an unfair advantage. They worked for that. Nothing was given to them. It wasn't made easy at all. And then you seen in that game when he came to New York, game 3, when he when Wemby basically took what's his name by his neck, Bronson, and shoved him to the ground, and they didn't do nothing about that. That alone, the fact that happened and they didn't do nothing, they didn't even give him a regular foul, nothing. They try to act like what we seen didn't happen. That was fucked up. They had to fight tooth and nail for that. Tooth and nail, and then, they look like they're scrambling. That was pissing me off, because like, y'all been playing this game all year. Y'all been taking them down, left to right, taking them down, just to look like y'all like a brand new team, because the refs wasn't fair. They allowed the other team to basically beat up on the Knicks. If the Knicks returned favor just by touching niggas, they was hemming them up. But you know what I mean? It was just crazy. What else I want to say? The Knicks earned that shit. They earned that shit, blood, sweat, and tears. They tried to mess up his ankle last night. Wemby was trying to mess up what's his name, Bronson's ankle last night. But because he's a player, he played through it. But I'm sure he a little tingle like, this motherfucker. Like, what was that, bro? He stepped in front of him on purpose. So at first it's like, maybe it's just a step back. No, that was on purpose. Everything he was doing was on purpose. And he was pushing all his players to hurt the Knicks any way he could. Even to the point of smacking what's his name in the face when he came down, hitting him in the face. And the thing is, the same thing at the step at the same time. It was weird. I think he scored a point, Bronson, and then Wemby hit him in the fucking face, and they did nothing about it. And if Bronson would have fed into that shit and smacked him back in the face, they would have made him leave. They had 5 players on the team, all have 5 fouls each. All of them had 5 fouls each. They was trying to get them up out of there. They was going to try to take out all like 5 of them players, of his biggest players, to catch them on fouls. Meanwhile, the other team is fucking them up, like stepping in front of him, smacking him in the face, shoving him. Like, are we not seeing the same game? They earned that shit. And I don't care about no Wemby, okay? Because he has a long road ahead of him. It's probably why he didn't win. Because his lesson is to probably not to be as rough as he's being, because he's trying to hurt people. And God don't bless mess. Okay? You go tell that fool that. And he gonna get no blessings acting like that. Secondly, the way they was cheating them left and right, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't fair at all. And if they would have quit and slowed down, it was like fuck it, let them take it. We would have. The Knicks would not have won anything. The Knicks would have not gone anywhere. The Knicks would have been stuck and going into Game 6 right now, and giving the game away to them if they would allow them to intimidate them. But they was doing what I said. Fuck it, it is what it is. We're gonna play through. Yeah, we're gonna make money. We're gonna make these plays. One by one, knocking them down. One by one. If we gotta give Bronson all the respect in the world, because one by one, him, and then damn it, the Spanish kid. I think it's like 3 or 4 Spanish kids on that team, but y'all know the one that's getting all the attention now. Starts with an A, Jose Acevedo, whatever, I don't mess up his name, but him. And then there was another kid that got braids in his hair that was making shots the other night. Let me see. And then there's Obi. Obi was doing his thing. So like just them alone, let's say if they can't get the ball to Bronson, then they could always play around it and make it fake like they're gonna pass it to him and then pass it to one of the other kids, and the Knicks will still be winning. All those players matter. All those players were doing their thing. All those players was earning their pay. All those players were amazing in their own right. They deserve this shit. They worked hard for this. They didn't give them nothing. They bust their ass for this. These last 4 games must have been the hardest games of the season for them, because they dragged them through it. They put them through it. Everything you could think of, the pushing, the shoving, the kicking. Like what? When do you get to grab somebody by their neck in basketball and throw them to the ground? Meanwhile, you're not running for the ball. This is me making excuses right now. You're not running for the ball. You wasn't up going up for the layup, and you grabbing them. You none of that shit. We all on the ground. You didn't get past no balls yet, and I can just walk up to you and just grab you by your neck and shove you. Even if they were having words, you don't fucking touch him. I don't care what he's saying to you. You don't touch him, because he didn't touch you. And y'all know that was some bullshit. Y'all know that was some BS right there. That was some straight BS. They earned this. Nothing was given to them. They earned every minute. You can't tell me nothing different. I've watched all 4. I think I didn't watch the first game. That's where you got me. But I watched the second, the third, and the 4th game. And they got their butts whooped. They got their butts handed to them. You know, it wasn't the better team. I think the Spurs was more intimidating. So all the intimidation the Knicks was getting on the field, in the court, unfortunately, New Yorkers saw it, because they couldn't whoop Wemby's ass or the Spurs players' teams, but they took it out on innocent people. Now, was that right? No. That wasn't right. I would have suggested the people that was wearing those jerseys just to take them off. And I've always said that. Just take them off, fold them suckers up, put them in your pocket, and make it to your hotel or back home safe. Because these people was tripping. These mobbers out here that was mobbing wasn't regular people. These mobbers was unhinged. Unhinged. And they wasn't all Manhattan people or Harlem people. They was like from the Bronx, from Brooklyn, from Staten Island. The worst of the worst people. Probably a lot of it's from jail. Like, it was bad. A lot of angry, mad people that was beating up on innocent people. Only people that could enjoy beating up on someone innocent that ain't never done nothing to them but wear a jersey from another team. The only person that can enjoy that is somebody unhinged. Because I hated that. I hated that, and I wish it was something I could have done. But they do pay cops for a reason. And they should have had the National Guard. And if we do go to the finals again, next year or even the year after next year, I suggest they get in the National Guard and give them a curfew. Yep. Especially people outside. Y'all gotta get y'all shit by a certain time. And most likely the curfew will be before the game is over. And get them going. Get them going home. Get out these streets. Get out these streets. Now. Yeah. And make it a federal crime. So they just, y'all want to play around? Y'all have free reign 1 year. No more free reign for you. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for it. Because that was crazy. Crazy is not the word. Them people were unhinged. Them people were out of pocket. What I don't like is I was listening last night. Somebody was like, the Knicks got to get them under control. The Knicks don't control shit out the garden. The Knicks don't control the rest of New York City. What you got to understand. That has nothing to do with the Knicks. That had everything to do with Wimbies and them niggas violating the Knicks in every way they could. So every time the Knicks got violated, the unhinged people outside of the club was beating the crap out of innocent people. Now, two wrongs don't make nobody right. They're both wrong. The Spurs were wrong for being what they were, and the people on these streets were unhinged people who probably need medication, who probably need to be locked up for what they did. Unhinged. You can't blame the Knicks for that, that's my point. You cannot blame the Knicks Association, the players, nobody. Because even the players didn't want that. The players didn't want them beat up. The players wanted to beat the Spurs fair and square, and you know what? They did that. Was it all the way fair? No. But the Knicks wasn't doing half the shit. They was putting the Knicks, giving niggas fouls for not even pushing. For putting their hands on the back of the player. Not even pushing. For doing regular defensive shit. So, yeah. I am happy they did what they had to do. And like your boy says, yeah, the game started at 8:30, they didn't come until 9. And he was right about that shit. 'Cause I'm like, what is up with this first quarter? But at least this time, the last game was different. First quarter. Why I keep saying quarter? First period was different. Was very different. Because they actually was tossing the ball back and forth at least for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before the Spurs scored, because every time the Knicks got it back, they wouldn't score. Wouldn't go in. It was like, damn, in my head, I'm like, is it a force field around that bitch that they can't make a point in these hoops? Like, what's going on? It didn't make sense. Until they got used to the way to shoot that would go in easier for them hoops. Because their hoops are different than Knicks hoops. So, you know. It's just crazy. I'm gonna come back with another one for y'all. I don't wanna use it too much, but this shit is done. I was putting the alcohol on it, and it looks puffy, but ain't nothing in it. It just needs to go down and disappear. That's all it needs to do. Cause I got rid of it. It was two of them, too nasty. It was this one, and there was one. I think it was there, but it's gone because I was putting alcohol on it that was killing it. Alcohol killing them without me trying to bust them. But anyways, I'll be right back, y'all.